So here we go.
Yes.
Me and you
Yeah.
after the storm.
After the storm.
So Nassia, what do you feel when we were over there installing our pieces with wind and the storm and sad? It was very crazy. What do you feel in that moment?
First of all, it was my honor to have you next to me, and just looking up and seeing you next door battling the same way I did with the storm, and the fragility of the materials we were working with. I got strength, and I would see in you strength, and it gave me strength right back. It was truly a journey of living my art with the elements and the elemental and the piece which is liquid solid, by having this experience. But Federica, tell me more about your installation and how you felt at the time.
I felt like you when I arrived in the site, and there was not my tent that everybody want. I was very surprised and be surfing in the elements of the natural elements, the wind, the sun, the light. It was very strong. And I was asking to myself, how can I do this? How can I fight against the elements to bring together the piece of art? I have no answer at time. But exactly as you say, there was you nearby to me, next to me, and I see you fighting, and they say we are in the same ship, and we have to fight.
Yes.
We have try.
Yes.
Maybe we can do, maybe not. And incredible at the end, we do. So that was
and
amazing.
Just looking up at the pyramids, I think, you look up and you say, well, if this came to be, we can achieve what we came here to achieve. And I think it was fighting, but it was also us giving into the elements as well and making it part of our work, and understanding how to behave with them, how to work with the wind, how to allow our materials to respond to them, to move with them, which I felt, both in your piece and mine, culminated in how it came together in the end.
When you say that, I would think that when I was there looking at the pyramids, and I always imagine this humanity that tried to build this huge pyramids with the same elements, probably, yes, the same elements against them. I say, okay, maybe with the same passion and very zen mood, we can find a way to put together and try to really stay in the place.
Yes.
And for me, was the challenges was put together all the lenses of my eye. And it was not easy because the hole was very little and the sand was everywhere over me, under me, inside of me. But I got a tent, so that was my protection. Sometimes I go out to rest and I look up to my left and I see you over there without a tent, under the sand with your head, looking at the structure and working on it. Say, oh my God, how she do this?
But I felt that journey evolved for me, the installation a lot, evolved the artwork. I came with my notion of what it needed to be, and it actually evolved in what it became through that journey. So it left an imprint in the work. And I wonder if you felt the same, if you felt that it sort of changed your perspective of what you intended to do from what it came out to be in the end, the whole process of actually bringing it on site.
Yes, for me also was similar, the process. I have worked before the last year before on this project with my knowledge of physics,
Yeah.
about also with my engineer and also with my staff. But I could not expect this kind of element of the wind and the strong of the air and
Yeah.
the situation. So when I was going on with my structure, putting together the lens, I should choose to change something. And it was
Yes.
sort of experiment because
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna change this or that. It could be good or bad for the art piece. So it was very ongoing process. Try to really feel the nature, the element in the piece,
Yes.
and try to be in the same stream
And to
of
adapt and
to
to
adapt.
adapt. I really felt that it forced me really to live what my piece was proposing, this liquid solidity, that I have the solid idea and I have to be liquid about it. I have to be adapt to what the moments are and the elements and the dialogue with the pyramids. For you, what was the moment where you sort of kind of the aha moment where you felt like it all came together?
Was the last moment for me.
Just
Well,
when it
when
came,
we
you
bring
placed it.
together all the lenses and we have to take out of the tent. I bring it to the eye, the structure, the metal structure, and I say, no, it's gonna be broken. I am sure it's gonna be broken because the wind was super strong, you know very well.
I remember.
And I say, no, it's gonna broken. And if it's up,
I remember the moment I was praying for you. I was like, it's coming out, it's coming out.
I say, oh my gosh, I can watch. But at the end, I want to follow and trust the people, trust the staff, trust the worker, and trust in the elements.
Yes.
And for you, I think is almost the same because you have to modify a little bit the shape
Yes.
of the piece,
To
right?
respond, yes. I worked both with the elements in the modification, with the optics, with what the material was giving me with the light and how I was responding to it, because you can plan for it, but it is always not, it will show you, reveal so many more things when it's actually there. And I responded to that, and I tried to like it feels anxious at the moment because you are there making changes, making adapting like at the moment. But I think it speaks to the idea that I think none of our pieces ever feel that they are finished, that they are final, and that it's
Yeah,
always
you're
an
right.
evolution. And even through the interaction of people afterwards, like I don't know how. I'm interested to hear how you felt from today, from the opening, from the interaction of people, whether you saw different perspective of how people perceive the piece.
Yes, I see people look my work that is called I see, and I listen them to say I see. It was very nice because that was the gap in the work, and sadly also I saw the public go behind the eye that I didn't expect.
Anticipate.
Yeah, because it was not in my vision, and they give to me a new vision of my work because I see want to make you relation with the surrender, the landscape of the Pyramid of Giza. But I never thought about to be in relation with a human, be in the landscape. So that was really sort of a new vision for me
Yes.
in my piece. I don't know if it's for you change something.
For me, the
to
element of
reaction.
drawing people in is always there. And I always say it always takes a final, that my piece always takes a final form when the human element is in it. But what I found really beautiful today is just to see how people needed no prompt, no engagement, that like they would run right through it and go be around it and behind it. And so it's sort of, I felt they were drawn in. That was, to me, was very gratifying to see that they were drawn into wanting to enter, into wanting to see within and from the outside, and not just be an observer, but be part of it, as you say, as with the lenses, become part of the piece.
And also, I think that with all the other artists, we put something that is inside of us in the piece, like ever happened to us. And in your piece, I see something that was very strong and fragile at the same time, and something that is standing in front of the storm, trying to be there,
Yes.
never surrendered. So I think the piece is talking about this in some way.
It's liquid solid. It's two contradictions. There is the strength of the solidity, but there is a fragility of the liquid and the adaptation. And I think those two elements is also what was the things which were the battling and the struggle, but also the beauty of the piece, the two tensions that it created.
Yes, true.
But I think I see that in your work as well, and the strength and the impact of the optics of it, yet through such a delicate lens. It's such a thin, delicate intervention, and it has such a strong optical,
Effect.
Effect.
Yes, and also in my case, I think I want to bring something that is fragile, that stay in the fragileness, stay in the sadness, take the history of the God Ra that created humanity by the tears.
Yes.
And what asking me to myself, why is by the tears? And so in that questions, I find my inspiration and also myself, because sometimes we need to be sad to be
Yes.
strong. And this ice is really strong, even if it's very fragile in some
Yes.
way, and resist to the elements and get in relation to the pyramids. So we're storm girls.
Yes, we are strong.
We are
very strong, and I think
We are.
we can feel that we proved that, at least to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very honored and very glad to be next to you.
Same. And I think this journey would have been very different if we weren't next to each
Yeah,
other.
I think so. I think so badly. Thank you so much.
No, thank you too.
And thank you to Art Egypt,
Thank you,
to
yes.
Nadine, to everybody, to the girls of the Art Egypt,
Yes.
to the workers.
Yes. They were amazing.
Amazing.
And all the hands. And it speaks when I was in my piece Liquid Solid, I talk about, the liquidity behind the pyramids of the human endeavor and how they organize. And maybe to a different scale, but that same ability to many particles as a liquid to come together and to actually have the same motivation to get this done and all work together with the same drive is, I think, what brought it together. And yes,
We finally
it's been
done.
amazing.